Pals is...
Back.
Dude, you nailed it. I didn't even cue you for that. That was impressive.
Exactly. That's kind of how we do, bro.
Finish my sentences.
That's what I'm here for, my friend.
Good. You look, you always look handsome every day of your life, but today you look extra handsome, Mr. Melgar. What you wearing?
Hey, I used to do a segment called "What You're Wearing" on another vlog thing, but that's for another day. Today I'm wearing the best defender for Argentina. And if he came to the MLS, he'd be like the GOAT, I guess. That's all the requirements are.
Doesn't look like a
And
Spurs. That doesn't look like a Cuti Romero Spurs jersey. I don't understand.
exactly, it doesn't.
I don't
Not
get it.
doesn't even resemble it, not even close. Um yeah, this is Mr. Martinez, the butcher of Manchester
Butcher.
United.
It's a fucking great nickname.
Yeah.
Butcher.
And this is last year's I think it was third kit. Yeah, because our away kit was
You guys playing that a lot? I feel like it. I've
not
never
very
seen
much
that.
actually, not very much. And I was telling you off screen that because I'm not using the green screen as much, uh I wanted to take advantage because you wouldn't be able to see, so my whole chest would just be invisible,
Yeah.
kind of like your defense. But anyway, it's like I really enjoying it. I think it fits nicely. I do the replicas because they fit me a little bit better. The authentics are a little too authentic
You're too
sometimes.
strong
So
for the authentics, right? Like
yeah,
football players don't have your physique.
well they don't make mediums the way that I like. It has to
You
fit a
wear a
certain way.
medium? I
Yeah,
wear a
schmeeds,
large, dude, and I'm like half your size.
schmeeds. Yeah, well, I mean, height and width.
Yeah,
It,
fair
it
enough.
it does stuff. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Give that a watch.
Fair
Give you
enough.
some facts there. The more you know, type stuff. But yes, I really like this one. It's pretty airy and nice. What do you got on? Is that Colorado based stuff? What's going on here?
This is my local team. This is
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I just
Pumas,
saw the
Nam
black and
Pumas
gold.
here in Mexico City. This is a 1997 home kit. I think it's pretty dope.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, rocking my local team today.
See, kind
So
of how you fall into the color scheme. A thing the same thing
yeah,
with my college being red and black. It's very
true.
similar. Yeah,
I mean, I
and
just like
and
can't
false.
support or wear team like red jerseys because I hate Arsenal so much. Like I actually love Ajax and I just purchased an Ajax jersey, but it had to be one of their old ones that was yellow and blue
Mhm.
because I can't fucking wear the white and red Ajax kit. Like it's too similar to Arsenal.
How do you feel about supporting teams like that all the way? Where you're getting a kit and stuff from other leagues.
I,
How do you feel about that?
I think it's great. I just love soccer kits. I mean, like, so
Yeah.
my wife and I had this analogy recently that I was buying another kit, of course. We were on vacation and I was actually buying a Real Sociedad kit. I like them from La Liga. I was in San Sebastian and I love their new kit. She's like, you have so many soccer kits. Like, why do you need to buy another one? Like, you have enough for every day of the week. And I was like, do you want to get another purse? She's like, well, yeah, of
Oh,
course. I need another purse. She's like, well, you have enough purses for every day of the week. I
true.
genuinely think that soccer kits are purses for men. Like, just fucking like having them. Like, of course, Spurs are my team more than any other team, but that doesn't mean like I'm not going to buy another Premier League team jersey. But no, I like collecting good looking jerseys from other leagues and things like that. Absolutely. It's a
Yeah,
little
it's
hobby.
European.
Yeah.
It's over the shoulder holder.
Yep. The male purse.
I like that. I haven't thought of that, but that is absolutely true because when I'm selecting the kits for the year, they always kind of test you. They'll throw out the leaks, and then they'll get bombarded with likes or loves or horrendous or whatever. And right around then, I'm kind of starting to gauge like how much I'm willing to spend and if I'm going to go all out. And last year I did all three kits.
Shit, man.
Yeah. The year before I did two. And then, but before that, I hadn't in a while, and I think that's kind of what got me rolling again. Was 2 years ago I got one, and I had that feeling of like, and it was also because Ronaldo was back. So
Yeah.
for me, there was
Collector's
no,
item.
there was just no, decision. I was like, well, however he does, I at least want to have this memorabilia of him being back. So I got the home kit, and then turned into just a saga of spending a bunch,
Oh, you can
flashing the
easily go
cash.
down the wormhole. My rule is I can buy more kits in a year, maybe a vintage kit, but of that year, I have to choose one. Now,
Yeah.
unfortunately, we have Nike, and Nike sucks. So like,
I like
it's
Nike. You like Adidas more than Nike?
way more, dude. You should see how bad the
Okay.
Tottenham kits have been lately.
Well,
Nike's good for like
design. I see what you're saying. I like their
ESG.
fit, I guess is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I agree with the fit, but the designs, like for a team like
Mm-hmm.
Spurs, like we get templates. We got like Barcelona's training kit as our main kit. So like sometimes it's hard for me to find even one of the three I would buy. So I'm not, I think Adidas is way better. I think they're probably the best in terms of design. But yeah, that's enough on kits. Let's get into
Yeah,
the
yeah.
weekend. The first week is done. Spurs 2, Brentford 2. So I want to go into a lot of details of this match. Obviously I've got a lot of opinions on it, but I'm very curious as a United supporter. So watching this game, not as a supporter, you know, what your takeaways were, what your overall thoughts were. We play each other next weekend, so it's a perfect fucking time to talk about it. But
Mhm.
yeah, give me your opinion and who stood out for you. What'd you think? I'd like to get a non-supporters non-biased opinion on the match.
I mean, I have a little bit of stake in the game just because I like to watch you squirm or,
Yeah.
via text. I like to see how aggressive those three little dots in that bubble pop up in the chat and then drop really quick. And I could just tell that you want to snap back at like a comment, but then you're like, no, I need to
Classic
have
trolling.
something I have to have stats to come with this. I'm be prepared. I'm not just gonna. So it was super early, it early in the morning, early in the season, and for me getting up just to be like, all right, let's see how they're gonna fare. Of course, I want you guys not to come out the gates firing because then it just shuts down my whole weekend, and then I have to worry about how we're gonna do. We didn't play till Monday,
Yep.
but I have to say, interesting start. I think some of the predictions that you had about your squad coming out could come to fruition. I'm still not sold on Richarlison. I don't think he's
Fair.
he's the man. I just don't see it. But then again, you never know because when a link up happens and there's Son involved, and I really do enjoy Son, I would take him in a heartbeat. I think that if they link up and it becomes an actual pair, they could just go to work.
Yep.
Interesting midfield. I didn't get. I got all the way into the second half to the point where I was just like, all right, I'm done. I'm exhausted and I need to. But I did watch pretty diligently up until that point, and I like the enthusiasm of your new manager. I think that he does have a point to prove, and he's kind of doing a similar mental work over that Ten Hag is doing, where he's like, no, what I say goes, and I'm in charge here, and the team are they're definitely falling in love with the project or what he has planned for them. You can see that they're like, yes, okay, we're involved. I get it.
Yeah. Their heads are in it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're giving it to the project. I don't know. I think that I called it pretty quickly that I was like 2-2, it's over. And you're like, no way. And
Yeah, that's fine.
ironically enough, the gentleman, one of the gentlemen that some of my other friends that were visiting from Phoenix, a full family, they were here, and we had all hung out at a wedding, my buddy's wedding in London. And he's a massive Tottenham fan as well. So I was texting with you, and he was shooting me messages on Instagram Messenger, and you guys were saying a lot of similar stuff. Just like his first reaction was like, "There's going to be a ton of goals in the second half," and I'm like, "No, game's over." And he was taking it so literal. He was like, "No, the second half has just started," and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, no, I get that, but I'm saying it's over." And he's like, "There's no way." He's like, "You're
Yeah,
not
I
even
can't
watching
believe
it," and
that
I'm
at all,
like,
dude. Not at
"Yeah."
all. And any
But
standout performances, like, anyone that you thought looked pretty decent, anyone that you thought looked pretty shit?
again, like I said, I really like Son. I think that he's going to take on uh the captain's role pretty seriously. So I thought that he had a good performance. Um, Brentford. it was a kind of a tit for tat with you guys, like even just in play, not in just goal scoring. I thought that like when you guys dominated a certain section, they would come back and do the same. So it was a very even keeled game. But I didn't see like any super standouts. But I would say that Tottenham looked threatening, and we'll get into our predictions of the matchup, towards the end. But all honesty, banter aside, yeah, I did think that you guys played better this weekend than we did, which I hate to admit, but yeah, dangerous. And could you guys do top four without Kane?
Too early to tell, man. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, so it's interesting hearing someone else's point of view. Like, I was extremely happy, like over the moon with that performance. Brentford, I think last year they only lost twice or three times at home. Like, they're actually a very decent side. Like, I get that they didn't have their keeper and they didn't have Ivan Toney, but like they were very organized. They're a good side, and I think they'll give a lot of teams trouble. We came out the gates like with it was going to give me a heart attack. Like, our defenders have been instructed to never kick long balls. Like, it's like you have to play tiki taka out the back. And I mean, what our defense was like, an Eric Dyer type defense last year. Luckily, he wasn't even on the bench today. It's nerve wracking, right? You're literally playing 1-2 touch passes in your own box. So started off pretty scared, but then realized like shit, they've taken to his system. They're doing well. I thought Romero was playing really well until he got a head injury, went out, scored a beautiful goal. I thought, Mickey Van de Ven, his partner, 22-year-old, he looked fucking great. He was very fast, very physical, able to pass the ball at the back. I think it was looking really good. For me, standout performances, I thought Madison was absolutely fucking terrific. And, the fact that there was no announcements before the game. He took the number 10 straight
I
up.
saw that.
Kane
Yeah.
left. Madison just took it on. Don't give a
Yeah.
fuck.
I was wondering about that.
I
He
love
fits your
that.
style of play really well. I can say that.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
fits your
He
style of
fits
play
he
well.
fits it. He's dangerous. He had a great free kick for Romero's goal. I mean, every time he gets the ball, he's going forward and he looks dangerous. I also thought Yves Bissouma was the best player on the pitch. He was fucking incredible. I don't know where he was last year. I don't know what Conte did to him, but he was excellent in the kind of number 6 role, moving the ball forward, taking it from the back line, pushing up, had great little cuts and turns. He kind of looked like Dembele, really quick on the ball. I thought he was excellent. And the other standout performance for me was left back, Destiny Udogie. He's gonna be he's gonna be better than Danny Rose was for us. And I know that's insane because he's played one game, but like looks completely composed for a 21-year-old. Great defending, great attacking, moving forward. So really impressed with those three guys. But overall, I mean, even if we had lost to Brentford and played well, I was okay with that. I actually was disappointed at the end because I thought the second half we dominated. At one point, we had 80% possession. I think the game ended 70% possession. We had like 3 times the number of shots. I think a draw is fair. Brentford are good. Their left back Rico Henry is fucking great player. I think he was one of the best fullbacks on the pitch. But yeah, overall, really fucking happy. The only negative I would say, Son had, depends on when you were watching. I thought he was a ghost a lot of the time. When he was on the ball, he was all right, but he's playing out wide and he's not used to playing that role. Richarlison was a ghost. He also missed an opportunity, and so I don't want to get on his back. I want to be confident that he can become something soon. But you're right, he wasn't all that quite yet. Oliver Skip, I don't know. He was decent, but he was probably the weakest link in our midfield. And I don't know if you watched the facial expressions of our new goalie, Vicario, but he's as emotional as like a clown. Like anything that happens, like nervous, his face is like this and like this. He's a weird dude. Wasn't really impressed with him either. So yeah, a lot of positives to take away, but overall, I was pretty fucking stoked, man. Great performance. So
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to come out the first match of the season. You obviously don't want to lose, but and a draw against a hard fought squad and hard built squad that I have prediction wise that I think we're going to do really well. That they're not done peaking yet. So yeah, kudos to coming out with a draw and a high scoring game for entertainment purposes. Except for the second half was probably a little bit more of a defensive battle. But these first couple of games, I think everyone's just out there trying to show off their potential a little bit, so
Yeah,
can
yeah.
either go really well or, you're trying to do too much. And that was
The
kind of
best
our
thing you
case.
said there that is music to my ears is you said the word entertaining in relation to a Tottenham game, which has been a really fucking long time until we've been entertained by Tottenham, to be honest. So I was entertained. I was into it till the end. I'm very optimistic. I'm buzzing after that. So, and I also think Brentford's a very good team. I think
Yeah.
they'll beat a lot of teams. So yeah.
Brentford and Brighton, for me, like I said, I think that they're going to do, good things this year, and they'll be that thorn in the side of the Big Six.
Yeah. Let's jump into the Monday game, to yesterday's game.
Oof.
Manchester United 1, Wolves 0. Let's start with, the biggest talking point. I mean, you sent me a text when I woke up this morning. Basically, the referees have admitted that it should have been a penalty and they made a mistake. I feel like it was so obvious that it was a penalty. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I mean, obviously, if it was my team, I'd probably be like, "Fuck no, it wasn't a penalty. He was going for the
Yeah,
ball." Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
got you got to have that mentality. But I don't know. What are your
I,
thoughts?
um, you know, palms to face for sure during a lot of moments during the match, and that coming up at the end. I have to look at it in this scenario. It's like you said, being my squad. What would you have rather him have done? De Gea, let's say, would have been a little bit closer to the line, his line, and maybe being a little bit taller. And, I don't know what their vertical matchup would look like, but he was never one to come out. I mean, he had nice punching the ball out type moments, but they were a lot closer to the line.
Yeah.
This was something that one of the reasons why we brought him, to United, because he is a little bit more aggressive and plays higher up. In this sense, it's everything. I get that people are going to say, well, you can't use the line that he had his eye on the ball until he saw the defender, and everyone's like, it doesn't matter, it's still a foul. Yes, it is a foul, but I would rather my keeper coming out, giving everything he's got to make sure that ball doesn't go in the moment, and then deal with the consequences. Kind of that ask for forgiveness, not permission type scenario, because he's doing everything that I would want him to do, and we got away with it, right?
Yeah. So,
So
so
in
your
actuality,
consensus is it was a pen, but like you're not angry with him about it. He was fucking going for whatever he could.
exactly. And and
Sure.
and I would much rather be sitting here right now, you know, trying to explain the ins and out of how the passion I have for making that type of play,
Yeah.
right or wrong, than being like, well, we played terrible and we have a draw, and now we're at 1 point sitting at 15th, just doing our thing. It's no, I'd much rather have us gotten away with one. The consequences are out. It's a story. If it continues to happen, and it's always going to be one of those later on that United got away with it. How did we not get away with it? Let's say it happens next weekend,
Old Trafford tax.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just,
It happens to everyone. Like you
yeah.
can't. Yeah. I think it was a clear penalty, but yeah. I mean, so I guess performance then. Overall, what did you think in terms of how you guys played? You know.
All over the place. It's just not. We're not complete yet. And watching us during the preseason and even the match that I got to go see in Vegas, it's just not the complete package. I still don't fully know where Mount fits and what his role is, because it's a lot of attacking in the midfield, and that's not necessarily what we needed to add. And I get that Ten Hag wants to play more forward and progressive football, but we also need someone with good mentality and a head on their shoulders, to where it's like slow the game down when it needs to be, spread the field, switch the field, not just constantly trying to go in one direction, forcing passes.
Yeah.
It's just like with Bruno there, who's already taking risks. And then you have someone like Mount who's a little bit robotic, and now he's following the lead of some of those creative players, and he has a lot of pressure, and he's wearing the number 7. He's running all everywhere. He had a couple of really good defensive takeaways after we had lost possession, but that's not what we were getting him for, right? Or was it? And you just don't know. And
Yeah.
being there right next to Casemiro, you need someone who is complementing that situation. And it's a hard ask. I get that. But I think in that matchup, we put on Ericsson a little bit too late because we saw that. I think we should have done it the other way around. I think we should have put in
Yeah.
Ericsson and had a little bit of creativity, more creativity up there.
And
And
calmness.
that, yeah, exactly. And then if we were getting run over, put in Mount to just, get a couple of goals up, and then put in Mount to, like, or even that one goal, and then put in
Oh,
Mount
I
to,
couldn't
like,
agree more. I thought Erickson was like, I mean, he put a couple good balls in. He was
yeah,
calm when he came in. He's got, piles of experience. I thought Mount was really poor. I mean, I get it's his debut. You can't like get on his back that hard. It's a new system, it's a new team, but
yeah,
I was very unimpressed. I thought Onana, other than the punching the dudes in the face at the end, was terrific. Like he
yeah,
had some immense saves. I mean, I thought Wolves were a bit the better team. That guy Cunha, I think he's Brazilian. He was excellent.
everywhere.
Yeah,
And
he was tearing
he
down
was
the
just,
pitch.
yeah, and he was just coming, right up the middle, pulling the ball. It just opens up so much when you have a player that has a good technique and touch on the ball and has, like, glued to their feet, but also is, like, looking up awareness to dish off and ready to make things happen on either side of the pitch. And that's kind of what I thought. He had that awareness. He was taking right up the middle, but at the same time being like head on swivel, like, let's open up this side, let's test Shaw, let's test, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka had a phenomenal match. He's proven that he is the starter over Delo, which
Definitely. He
I
was
had
great.
written off almost at the beginning of last season, just like, what is this? What is he going to do? Like,
He
they're
had the
trying to
assist, right?
sell him. They're trying, yeah. And it was like
Yeah.
that little chip into the middle. It's like he's getting good at those one overs. So we have a lot of work to do. And the news of,
He's only 25.
yeah,
Dude, I feel like he's been playing in the Prem for like a decade.
yeah, because he was with Crystal Palace for a while too, and that's kind of why we got him. But his biggest.
Great redemption arc. Great.
Yes, yeah, and that was all about him taking it serious. That you need to learn how to be better going forward, which, that's the modern day fullback. Uh, I don't know. We have a lot to do with Maguire now. Deal falling flat because he wants to get paid out, or he wants to stick around, whatever the case may be. His agent or him, or there's just a lot of different stories swirling around of why this deal is broken down. It At the end of the day, that's money that we need. I don't understand his lack of ambition to not want to go and play somewhere where he's getting minutes, so then he could maybe go back to the England team and play. Which, there's that. What's that guy's name from Chelsea that's going to take Colwall? Yeah,
Yeah.
he's going to take
Levy.
Maguire's position easily. So I just don't know where his
I mean,
head's at. Like,
Southgate loves Maguire though, but yeah,
I
long
mean,
term, sure.
eventually you have to take, the people that are going to help you win. And Maguire has a mistake in him. And he had a couple mistakes during preseason, and that's just preseason. And he had already boasted about how he was doing all this separate training with this new. Anyway, here nor there, we have holes that we still need to fill. And
You
I
think
think a
defense
lot
is
of
still I mean, like, how do you like that back four? Like, I mean, my favorite, I texted you and you didn't answer, but my favorite part of that match was Lissandro Martinez doing a Cuti Romero impression and just
well,
knocking that dude out with a slide tackle for no reason by the
he
sideline.
just went in the wrong way. Like, he should have gone in just
Argentine defenders,
flipped,
dude.
flip,
I
flip,
love it.
flip,
I
flip
love it.
flopped. And he knew right when he got up, was shaking his head, that he didn't need to track
Yeah,
all
the
the way
difference is
across
he
the pitch
apologized.
to,
Cuti would walk
yeah,
away and fucking
yeah.
glare at him.
No, I like our back four. And the thing is, our, Maguire sits at like fifth choice because Luke Shaw comes in before he moves up the ladder. Uh, Lindelof, I think, is has created his own space and is very much there for what we need. And you could see that in the decision making.
Yeah, he came
When
on
he
late,
had
right?
that yellow and taking him off at half, not many managers will be
Well,
like,
that was at half. Shit.
yeah, at half. So it's like not many managers will make that choice at that time, but we need to protect him. We have someone who can cover that role, totally different dynamics, and has really good touch on the ball. Like Lindelof has a pass in him, and he's fed numerous assists to Rashford. So that was also a creative change, which I was on board with. And then, yeah, we're fine in the back. I don't think we need any additions back there, but I think we need to
Riker.
create a a sustainable bench as well as our starting players, and I don't think we got that in preseason.
I mean, I was like, I've got him on my fantasy team as a human being. He's got Marcus Rashford's got to be one of the most top blokes in the league, but I thought he was terrible. Like he just like doesn't play that top. I
No,
don't know. I
you
he's a
nailed it.
winger,
You
right?
know, and he mentions it, but he also, he obviously wants to support the manager's decision, and he's going to try. And Ten Hag made it really well known to the public that he was a major part of the project.
He should be.
And I'm not sure if he thought though that he was going to turn him into,
Okay.
that striker, and it's just not panning out. It's just not his bread and butter. So yeah, he's got to go back out to the wing. But then what do we do with everybody else we have waiting literally in the wings for those
You're
other
too heavy at
other
that
position?
position. You're so
So,
overloaded.
oh yeah, and
Garnacho,
Ganacho was
Anthony.
great. He was phenomenal in the
Yeah.
match. I thought he just, for his age, just being all over the pitch the way he is defensively, offensively, the way he's playing just looks like he's already been at it for a while.
I think he has the highest ceiling. I think Anthony's a bit
Yeah.
of a one trick pony. He's fast,
Yeah,
he's
that
good,
that
but
cut into the left and then take a
yeah.
shot, and that's what I'm worried about. I would much rather have Sancho over there and then have bring in Anthony during times when we they're not expecting that. It's like switch it out, and catch them off guard because they've been working with Sancho all the match, who's been actually working that side, and that's why we got him. We bought him because we wanted a right winger.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why we've had him off to the left for so. We just have a lot of positions that
You
are,
still got Martial?
yeah,
Yeah, Martial
and
was on
yeah,
the
and
bench.
he's fit. He's fit.
Yeah, you
He
have too
will.
many like players that are the same.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. And I just, yeah, I don't know where everyone's going to fit. So eventually something's going to have to give. For me, I think it's Sancho off to the side, but I mean, we paid 80 mil for Anthony, so I don't see Ten Hag giving up on the guy, but he's got to learn how to use his right foot.
well then, okay, let's I can't believe we play each other second week in the season. It's fucking
Yeah,
great because it's
yeah,
all unknown. What
I love it.
changes do you think you'll see then for before we get into predictions? You know, the starting 11 that we saw on Monday, yesterday, what changes do you think we'll see, against Tottenham? I mean, I think it's quite a bit different. Like, we're going to be playing on the
I don't
front
think
foot.
I don't think we're going to do many like personnel
Rashford still up top.
changes.
No mini Holland in there. No fake Holland.
He's got that back spasm thing that's just been.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, so he's got like a precautionary injury. They did scans when he was getting his medicals, and there's some sort of something in his back that could turn into something. So they precautionary a couple of weeks before he gets. And I mean, he's playing on with cleats on the grass, training and everything. So, and he says he doesn't feel it, but you got to kind of
Got it.
look after your investments.
Who
I
else
think
starts
very
up there, you
similar, but
think?
I think
Martial?
Martial, yeah, Martial
Okay.
would be our natural starter. I don't think it'll be a lot of personnel changes. I think that we're going to play a lot more defensively just to feel you guys out.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to go up there and be creative and our front three didn't do much, I think that we're going to sit back and absorb some pressure and try to go on the break like we did last season. That's kind of my prediction.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for us, I could see the exact same. The only change, maybe Oliver Skip for Sar or even Hoybier in there. But I think the rest, we got to give Richarlison a run. Kulusevski, I think it's going to be the same. It's going to be very interesting, to be honest. I mean, what is your if I didn't see the first, United play, I would have said we're probably going to lose this. You guys have had our number for years. New manager, so many new debuts for us. But I was very underwhelmed by that performance by United. Now, I'm sure that that could be a one-off and you could be miles better, right? You can't take much from that. And Wolves were way better than I expected too, but I feel pretty confident going into this. I think it's Saturday. My prediction, I'm going to actually go with 3-2 Spurs. Um, Bunch of goals. But Spurs eke out a win in maybe 75th minute goal from Madison. What about you?
I'm going to say 1-1 because like I think that we're going to
1-1.
play extremely defensive and just kind of soak it up. And if we see early on that we're not going to win the game offensively, like we're not creating enough, then we're just going to sit back. We're not going to park the bus. It's going to be a lot of sideways passing, a lot of getting into the midfield, and then the ball gets turned over. It's going to be that's what we have an abundance of. Are players that are trying to prove that they should be starting. Do they know they're completely? No. And so if we can't start putting, the easy passes together, I think we're just going to sit back and hopefully and at that point I think that if we have to absorb that type of pressure for a while, we'll hold off until the very end and you guys could go up 1-0 and it'd be that all the way to the 60th, 70th minute. And then we'll have that movement where Martial is pulling people, up front, and then Rashford gets a nice break and opens up his account for the year.
All right, I can see that. So we got a 3-2 and a 1-1 prediction. So I mean, based on that, sometimes it's not a bad thing to perform, a little bit less than expected in the first few games when the transfer window is still open,
Yeah.
because maybe it forces the purse strings to buy someone. What do you think? We still got a bit more time with the window open. You think you guys are going to bring in some more signings? Is that what rumors are
I think we
happening?
have to. We have to. We have to. The thing is, it's like you discussed. Sorry, go ahead.
What positions are you thinking that you want to strengthen?
I think it's like you were mentioning, is we just have too many that we're trying to get out still.
Okay, so
we've got Donnie and we've got McGuire that's I guess staying now, and I don't think we're getting rid of McTominay, and I don't think McTominay played badly this last match. So I'm all for keeping him as a squad player, but we're kind of a sell to buy moment. But I think at the end of the day, we might get another midfielder. Like I'm not sure that Amrabat guy. He's holding off for us. Liverpool are interested. He definitely wants to come. He wants to be part of the project. Thing is, you just have to work out that type of payout and that where is he going to come and when's he going to come. And so I think Amrabat will probably be our last signing. I think that will go pretty heavy in him in the last days, and pull him in. But then we have to integrate him. It's just classic United. And it's not, you can't just bring someone in and granted, Ericsson did pretty well. I will say he definitely impressed.
Yeah, fair enough. I also think we got that Kane money, son. Got like 100 million.
Yeah. So what are you guys' plans to do with that? What was the final number, by the way?
I think it was like around, like I know Levy was insisting on like 100
Yeah.
100 million pounds. I think he got it in the end. So I think it's around 100 million pounds. So 100 million extra pounds. The only real rumor right now, well, actually, there's a bunch of rumors flying around, like Brennan Johnson, the Nottingham Forest winger. It might help to add some winger depth, but the big idea is this guy Gift Orban from the Belgian league, plays for Genk or Ghent. Slade, I think he's like 30 plus goals in his last couple seasons. He's a Nigerian kid, like 22 years old. He did have a quote though, which is really funny, which was like, I want to play in England, but not for a team like Arsenal because they don't win trophies. So, if he thinks that Arsenal don't win trophies, is he going to want to come to Tottenham? I'm not sure.
But they actually don't win trophies.
Yeah. The kid is supposedly a phenom, and I would love Richarlison to have some competition. I feel bad he's never gotten a run out because Kane was too good, so he just never got to play. But I
Mhm.
also think that that position shouldn't just be nailed on for him. He hasn't proven that. He needs someone else that's kind of, if you don't play well, they're going to take your position type thing. So I'm really hoping we sign a striker. I would like one more center back too, man. I mean, Romero goes out and we've got Davinson Sanchez in there again, who was the laughing
Oh,
stock of the club. Now, he
oh,
played great. To be fair to him, he played really well, but like our options are slim, man. If all of a sudden this new kid and Romero are injured and we're back to a dire Sanchez or dire Ben Davies backline, we're fucked. So I mean, I wouldn't mind more depth at the center back position, but I think we will make a signing or two because we got that money. But Levy also loves money, so he doesn't necessarily want to spend it on our club all the time. So I don't
and
know.
have you guys fully paid off the stadium?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, we're the most profitable soccer franchise on earth. Like we make tons of money, more than United, more than anyone else in terms of pure profit. So like, there's definitely money in there. They just don't necessarily they treat it as a business. They're not, it's in and out. It's not like it's not the Todd Bowley where he's just buying every single good player that exists. I mean, let's talk about that. Did you see that Caicedo's gone? Liverpool's target, and now
Loved
Lavia
it.
also is
I was,
going.
yeah, both went to Chelsea.
How the hell can they keep
Both,
buying all these players? It makes no sense to me. It's
yeah,
absurd,
it's
isn't
getting
it?
close to $1 billion. Yeah, yeah.
That's
But also the fact we can't just skip over like both of those players rejected Liverpool.
true.
So please text
Isn't
your
that
Liverpool
surprising a bit though? Like
buddies
Chelsea
and
finished
check on them.
so far down the table. I mean, I guess like long-term prestige, they're
I'm,
probably
I'm,
on par, but
I
like,
think a lot of those players are looking at a new project though. You know,
yeah,
Klopp's been there for a while. It's something that's been done. You know, so you go in there. What happens when you go in there and you win the Prem and Champions League again? It's not as memorable, even
yeah.
though the Prem wasn't memorable because they didn't even get a parade because it was during COVID. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, you hate Liverpool more and I hate
yes,
Chelsea more, so
yeah.
it is
Oh
what it is.
yes, yes, yes,
But
yes.
they've got Pochettino, man. Like I just want to see them absolutely fucking crash and burn. Like I don't care. I don't care that he's my favorite manager of all time and my entire life. I want him to fail miserably. I hate it.
Well, I mean, let's just jump right then into the other matches.
Yeah, let's do it. What did
You
you
know,
think? Chelsea Liverpool. I thought the game was actually pretty entertaining.
yeah, it was. Agreed, agreed. I don't think there's much more to say other than that. I don't think anyone did a lot more. I'd loved seeing Nunez back to his old ways of just getting right to the cusp of it and not getting it. I like the offside goals. Both
Salas
teams have had one
and
taken
Chilwell.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really get. I think he played. Chilwell played well, but they were like the announcers. They're
Really?
just
I
making
thought
it
he was
sound like.
great.
Well, they just make it sound like it was the most phenomenal.
Fullback
Uh,
performance ever. Yeah.
yeah, and I was like, no, he's very energetic. He was in the right places. He was making things happen. I thought it was really good. I just didn't think that it was like
I mean, that
the
run for
most
the offside
ridiculous.
goal was, to be honest, I thought Rico Henry for Brentford had the best fullback performance of the weekend, even better than
Yeah.
Chilwell. But he's good though. Chilwell's good. I mean, I would take him in a heartbeat.
Did
Um,
did did what's his name from Aston Villa? Did he did he tear his knee?
who?
Um, what's his name?
Oh, Tyron
Mings.
Mings.
Yeah, did Mings spring to?
I don't remember
Because
seeing what it
I know he
was.
went down. I was watching the match, and I know he went down. They were like they pulled him off, and it was like
Yeah,
he
he
looked
did.
like he had.
Having
So is
surgery.
it season or half the season? I guess. Or I
Yeah.
mean, with that
Yep.
type, it's one or the other, right?
Yeah, he's
End of the
done.
season.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't
Oh
say exactly
yeah,
what it is, but it says surgery, lengthy rehabilitation process. So yeah, I think he's fucked. That sucks because he was in and around the England squad too.
yeah,
Poor guy.
yeah, yeah. But I thought like yeah, my thoughts on it. I thought it was entertaining, but I don't think anybody was doing amazing stuff. And I like Salah looked really upset about getting pulled
Yeah,
off,
that was funny.
throwing his tape and stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
So just the
He
more
looked pretty good though. He was pretty decent. I actually think I'm gonna captain him in FPL this weekend against Bournemouth. I think he might have a redemption year over the last couple of years, but I liked the look of that Hungarian dude. I don't even want to begin to try to pronounce his name. Sabalai.
Yeah. For Liverpool. Yeah. He's taking corners for them and stuff like that too. He hard to the ball. Yeah. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I didn't see anyone super stand off, but maybe that's a testament to both squads this year. Maybe it's just a stalemate because their potential, we'll see when they play other teams coming up. So
yeah. Let's go to another game. Newcastle 5 freaking goals. I mean, I think that they were the most impressive team of the weekend.
Agreed.
Against Aston Villa.
Agreed.
Who squeaked by 1 goal. I was not expecting that at all.
No.
What'd you think?
They also didn't play bad. I don't think Aston Villa played horribly, which is crazy to say. I just think that Newcastle were with the crowd and everyone involved, like they were just soaring, like they were on it. They were just like, I mean, it seemed like it was a highlight reel every time the announcers were just like, they would score a goal and the crowd would just be going nuts. And it's just like, they were just the hype around it. Everything that Newcastle was doing just made it
like every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It was like well spread
and
out.
they had a lot of chances too.
Harvey Barnes there at the end.
Yeah. But I don't think Aston Villa played badly, and I don't think they're going to do as poorly as that performance may suggest.
Yeah, totally agree. And it could have been a one-off for Newcastle, but they came out flying, and I at least predicted last week they wouldn't even make the top 6, so I may be editing that out. Just kidding. Yeah, they
redo.
They were pretty legit. I guess we have to if we're forced to talk about the Gooners. I mean, they only won by 1 goal. I actually didn't watch that match because I fucking hate watching them, especially when they're winning. I was really hoping
that 4:30 in the morning here or in there, right? Same.
Forest were going to come back. Not much to say there, but I don't know. They won again.
Was it 4:30 or was it 5:30? 4:30. I think it was like the earliest I'd seen it on my. But normally the early game is 5:30. I think it was an actual hour earlier than normal time for us here. Anyway, here nor there.
Say is that one dude, the Dutch guy from Ajax, Uren Timber, whatever.
Yeah.
Tore his ACL. He's done.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't see that either.
Yeah.
That was Martinez's partner in crime at Ajax.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, he was great.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he's ACL injury, so poor guy. I mean, even though he's Arsenal, that sucks, dude. Never want to see that.
So. Yeah, I mean, I only watched some of the highlights. I don't think I saw that. I don't think I saw that at all. But hey, man, I mean, nothing against him. I obviously wish him all the best and speedy recovery. But Arsenal just taking hits. You'd love to hear it. Love to see it.
Yeah. Brighton 4, Luton Town 1. I sent you that video of the Luton Town Stadium where
Sick.
Walking up the stairs you can see into apartments and shit.
Yeah,
that's dope.
The visitor side. Yeah,
love seeing that.
That's really cool. Authentic.
Yeah,
gritty footy right there.
Yeah, but Brighton looked, I mean, I don't know, it's hard to say. I didn't think Luton looked very good, but Brighton dominant.
Yeah. I mean, to me, they're just a fun team to watch. Obviously, there would never be like a second place or third place team that I'm just like, okay, I support them if I'm not supporting United. But Brighton they're a fun team to watch, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do better than they even did last year. So again, Brighton and Brentford are my two that are going to.
How the hell did they moves. Keep so their best midfielder was Yves Bissouma. They sold him to us, and then they got Caicedo, who is even better, right? Mm-hmm. Are they going to get rid of Caicedo and then some other person that takes that's going to be even better? Their recruitment is insane. I think De Zerbi's a great coach. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't know if Luton was a big test at all, but they looked really good. You're right. They're fun to watch. They're super entertaining. So
they're the modern day Southampton, just development wise. How City and Liverpool got a lot of their players from there. They were just
so did we.
back to back to back. So I'm excited to continue watching them until they play us. Obviously.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard of this player before, Erling Haaland. You heard of him?
Opening up the season, huh?
I feel like he's kind of good.
Fashionable for him. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a phenom. But I mean, De Bruyne are out for months. We'll take it.
Poor guy. Yeah. I like
Yeah,
he seems like a really nice dude.
yeah.
Um, but
Hamstring
yeah,
gotta suck.
but they've got so many good players in that creative role. I mean,
That's what I'm
no one's
saying.
as good as
That's
De
what I'm saying.
Bruyne, for sure not, but like I don't, are they even worried? Like,
And what's gonna suck is that if they just keep dominating and then all of a sudden De Bruyne's back the next match, it's just like, they've been winning 3-0, 4-0 without him, and they're like, oh yeah, guess what? Next week De Bruyne's back, 10-0 against Luton Town.
yeah. I'm in this precarious position with City that like I want to see them fall, right? Because they've won over and over again. But if the alternative is Arsenal, I'd rather have City win for the rest of my life. So like it's like I want Newcastle to upset them, but I also like don't want Arsenal to win the title so badly that like maybe
Yeah.
I just need City to win forever. You know?
Unfortunately, I feel very similar, and that's harsh. Them being our direct rivals.
Yeah.
It's rough because, but it's rough, but it's acceptable, and I love it. And City's fans won't admit it that them winning even the treble is not as historic and monumental as, let's say, you guys or when Leicester won the Premier League. Like people still
No
talk
way.
about that and being that one off. And now people, they won the treble last year, and people are like, man, that's just City doing whatever. It's like, of course, there's no denying that all the ducks are in a row, and they're doing it, and it's
Well-run football
achievement.
club.
And you cannot
But
deny
they've
that
been
they're
cheating and
the
spending too much money. It's fucking fake.
here nor there. I mean, the league is money. Football is money now, whether we like it or not. But just in the manner that it went, and that's where that history joke comes. Like, old City doesn't have history or whatever. That's more like what there is being discussed. Is that okay? You've been around for so long and you've done things, but it's like you haven't had that passion and stuff until you guys got the money, right? So that's the history that people are, they make that joke of that, didn't their history start in 2008 or something like that, or eight, yeah, it's just when they win, it's, to me, it's not fireworks and everything like that. It's kind of
Totally
like,
agree. And that's
well,
why it's
they
not
got it.
bad them continuing to win,
Exactly.
right?
Over.
It's
Yeah.
like, well, whatever. Yeah.
Shitty
So,
City. We'll let them have it again.
yeah.
Throw down the
One
plastic.
last little section before we wrap up is we didn't talk about it in last week's episode, but Champions League predictions for this year. Now, unfortunately, Spurs aren't even
Yeah.
in any sort of European competition for the first time in a very long time, but I'm actually slightly okay with it. Are we
I
thinking City can do it again? I mean, who's your favorite for winning the Champions League this year without even having started?
I mean, I think we can just give like a brief, like 1, 2, and 3 at the tops, because we'll get into it probably a little bit more once we get close to it, and we're getting hyped and see who's actually who's playing well at the beginning of their seasons. Because I did think about that before we went on, and I was like, maybe we should hold off a little bit, but we did say that we would bring it up, so I think we'll give it a brief overview. Man, I don't see Byron, based on that first performance with Kane's debut, they did not look like they're going to
They
put up
looked
any sort of a
good.
fight. Yeah.
Not Kane's
The
fault.
RB Leipzig was dominating them
They're
on
good.
every spot. And so, I mean, unless we have some wild horse, I mean, I haven't seen. No, this is what I'm going to go with Real Madrid. Bellingham is ridiculous. Do you see that photo that was taken of him like in front of the opposition fans, just like after he put in a goal on his debut and an assist, like, or I don't know if he got an assist, but he put a goal in the win. It's just like, yeah, I think that they're just going to continue to get stronger,
And
and
Militao is out for the season with an ACL tear. Just happened. Thibaut Courtois also out for the season.
I
Do you think
saw that.
Kepa can keep him out? Like, I agree. I mean, they're always a contender, but
Dude,
I don't
Kappa
know
is
about this
just
year.
Kappa is a mistake waiting to happen. But I think that because he's not at Chelsea going through the motions of just trying to be a starter, He's going to get to relax a little bit and be on a stage with some of the best to ever do it. So it's going to change his mentality a little bit to where it's going to be a little bit more showmanship. And I think a lot of he'll be thinking a little bit more clearly with an actual defense that's not getting pounded on. Because last year Chelsea were just getting destroyed, and I mean, yeah, he had something to do with it, but at the same time, I think Real Madrid can pull it off. I think before the transfer window opens for them or closes for them, which is a little bit later than ours, right? They go like an extra week or so.
Might be, not sure.
I think they're going to pick up some big names, and they have
I mean,
Mbappe
Mbappe's
coming
not going this year. I could see them when Mbappe goes, but yeah, I mean,
because
we'll
they're
see. Like, I've heard a lot of pundits talk about Arsenal winning it, and that idea just makes my blood boil. So, like, I don't
what?
even want to discuss that. Um, Honestly, out of the big teams, like, I've got no more skin in the game. I would love to see Harry Kane lift a Champions League trophy. I don't really like Bayern, but I mean, that would be cool. I think they could
Yeah,
be decent. We'll see.
that'd be the same feeling as City winning the Premier League.
Yeah, it's
You're
kind of
just kind
like
of like, eh,
whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
not us. And you're right. I think that they would definitely make up that me or bring it to life. You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd love to
Last
see
point
it.
on that. Do you think it's going to be helpful for the England team that like Kane is playing for the best German club, Bellingham's playing for the best Spanish club? Like we've got a bit more diversity in big teams. They're playing with some of the other big name guys that they're going to play against in the Euros and things like that. Like I think
Yes,
England are going to win the Euros, dude. Genuinely.
I, I think that it will help because first of all, you get to see other styles of play.
Yeah.
On a week to week basis, you get to see people from all over. You get that winning mentality with the different squad, and you learn. I mean, he's gonna have to learn to become a leader in a team that in just a new foreign territory, literally and figuratively. Like he's gonna have to do it. So when he comes back to a comfortable spot, it's gonna be dangerous. So yeah, I could see us doing really well in the Euros.
Hell yeah. Well, on that note, the next time we talk, Tottenham and United will have played, and we will be talking about it. So stay
Yeah.
tuned for
There'll be
how
accidents and
that
incidents
goes.
and hints and allegations.
Yep, lots of arguing and crying.
Yes.
So tune in till next time.
Yep. And if you're
Prem
watching on
Pals.
YouTube, don't forget to smash a like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. We'll be coming out with more fun content.
Peace and love. Bye
Peace,
bye.
peace.